This is way too many people to watch the news recorded live. This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Today we have our largest studio audience ever for this show, nearly 50 people. Thank you all for being here. Exciting day. We reopened our museum today. We have an exciting event with Imagineers tonight. Lots going on here today, but either way, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. In a moment, the news for September 1st, 2025. But first, you all know it's coming. It's the Gertie Cam. There she is. She's 8 feet tall, 10 feet. How many people have ordered Gertie? The rest don't have lawns. I don't either. See, they just yelled, I don't have a lawn. Yes, she's 8 feet tall, 10 feet long, and she's ready to brighten up your holiday season. Pre-orders available now, carouselproducts.com. While you're over there at carouselproducts.com, we got a brand new shirt. It says, "He's still Peg Leg Pete to me." Get this right now. We also have very limited stock of our 3 original magnets, which would be our Intergalactic Lounge Singer, Sunny Eclipse, the Carnotaur from Dinosaur, and Dinosaur Gertie. And we actually have something really exciting to announce today. Katie, roll the footage. There it is. We go back to the regular. This is the Magnet of the Month camera. Yes, we told you we were going to start a Magnet of the Month program, and it is beginning right now in September. Our first magnet to join the Carnotaur, we have Aladar from Dinosaurs. We count down to its extinction in just a few weeks' time. So get your Aladar magnet now. The way this works, they're not sold individually. It is a Magnet of the Month club. And so there are 2 ways you can join the Magnet of the Month club. You can pay monthly. If you pay monthly, it's $8 a magnet plus shipping, which is what we charge for our magnets regularly. But again, we're not selling it outside of the club. With that, you can cancel anytime. Any month you decide you want to be done, you can be done. But otherwise, you'll be charged monthly. Now, if you want the annual subscription, it is at a slight discount. It is $99 for the full year. And that also includes shipping, so it's considerably cheaper. You figure we average around $11 with shipping on the single magnets, so it's a nice little discount if you buy the $100 for the year. It will be all original theme park characters. We're not going to do animated movie characters. We leave that to Disney for those ugly designs of, the animated characters. But either way, we're going to have all original theme park characters because we're theme park people, and that's what we want. I'm going to cover my whole car. That's what's going to happen. Hopefully you'll cover yours or your whole fridge as well. Carouselproducts.com to sign up right now. First magnet in the collection, other than these 3, which kind of start the set. Aladar from Dinosaur, and there is some real fun stuff coming. We've actually designed and ordered the first several months of them, and I can't wait for you guys to see them. But either way. Let's get to the news. There's some big stuff to talk about after Destination D23 this weekend. Disney made many announcements of upcoming changes to the Disney theme parks around the world. In fact, we have articles on every single one of these if you want to read more about them at WDWNT.com. But here's what we can expect to see around the parks in the near future. It was announced first that there will be a Cinderella Castle repaint in the Magic Kingdom's future. This new color, you can clap if you like the news. Yeah. This new color palette will restore Cinderella Castle back to its classic colors of grays, creams, blues, and touches of gold. A date for when the castle restoration will happen has not been announced yet, but it is coming. I'm going to stop and editorialize for a second. Thank you. Thank you. They listen. I will say this, like so many of us are mad about either Muppets or Rivers of America, those projects. All these smaller projects just seem like really wonderful things we've all asked for. The animation thing going in at Hollywood Studios, like the castle just returning to the colors it should be that look better, honestly. These are great things, and I think for the most part we feel that way about the next story, which is that the Carousel of Progress is getting an update at the Magic Kingdom that will include a new audio animatronic version of Walt Disney. Walt Disney, yeah. Disney Imagineer Chris Beatty revealed that you'll soon be able to see Walt Disney through the magic of audio animatronics technology at Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, the attraction with his name on it at the Magic Kingdom. Before you follow an American family over 4 generations of progress as technology transformed their lives, you'll be able to catch a brand new introductory scene and hear from the legendary man who never stood in the way of progress. Early concept art of the new animatronic was shared during the presentation. You're looking at it now. The art shows Walt standing in a room reminiscent of an office, surrounded by sketches and blueprints. One particular piece of art within the scene is an early image of EPCOT. It's meant to be him. Again, similar time frame to the Walt Disney animatronic at Disneyland that just debuted in Walt Disney: A Magical Life. But this will be focused more on I assume more on him at the World's Fair and him envisioning his city of the future. Here's how I feel. They also hinted that there are other changes to be talked about, in particular with our Progress family. So John and Sarah have some changes coming. It is, I think we are to infer that they are going to update the finale scene finally. And so maybe we will see John and Sarah and the family living in what we think, today looks like, which is a scary prospect. Because people are it's such a positive attraction, and Walt was such an optimist, and we live in, I think, such a pessimistic time that I worry about trying to capture that in a modern finale scene of Carousel of Progress. I will say this, the Walt introduction in a scene that's just a curtain and my beloved talking cog, because it sounds like, I don't know, the curtain opens and it looks like the cog is talking to us. But that's going to go away probably, and we're just going to have Walt. I mean, Walt is the perfect person to introduce the Carousel of Progress. He loved innovation. He was captivated with this idea of following the American family through time and through these innovations. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm really worried about the rest of the attraction because I think this is, again, a very hard time in humanity to capture optimistically. So I'm a little concerned. And the part that makes me sad, which, again, I'm getting in the way of progress, Gene Shepard is no longer with us. Gene Shepard has voiced the father in Carousel of Progress since the 90s. Gene was also most famous for A Christmas Story, if you've ever seen that film. And so Gene would likely have to be replaced, and several of the other voice actors are no longer with us either, including the original father from Carousel of Progress who played the grandfather in this current iteration. And so from purely a nostalgia standpoint, to lose those voices will break my heart. It really will. Also purely nostalgia and not something that should be used to predicate the future of the Carousel of Progress. I'm just going to really miss the current ending scene where they mention laser discs and car phones. That's really going to break my heart. But also, what would Walt Disney have wanted? He would have wanted the Carousel of Progress to continue to keep up. And we are 20 years overdue on this project. And so, similar to Country Bears, I am going to sit here, I'm going to wait and let them cook and see what happens. I hope they pull it off. I really want them to. I think the Walt introduction will be a beautiful thing. I'm just very concerned. There is such a tightrope to walk as far as the rest of this attraction. And they know that, right? Whoever's working on this, they know the pressure is on for this project, and they know how hard of a task lies ahead of them, and I wish them the best because I think we all want them to pull through. This is, like Chris Beatty said on stage, at Disneyland they have so much of that World's Fair. They have It's a Small World, they have the Primeval World diorama, they have great moments of Mr. Lincoln. And the one thing we've got is Carousel of Progress. That is our one real true connection to Walt, other than the fact that he walked on the land that would become Walt Disney World. So it's so important to do this right. And even if you have all the best intentions, this is still a tough project. So I wish them all the best. I'm excited about it, but at the same time, a little nervous because we unfortunately or fortunately had 30 years to fall in love with this current version, which I will say I think is the best version of Carousel of Progress there has ever been. And so it's a tall task. Disney also announced that an overlay inspired by the upcoming film TRON Ares is coming to TRON Lightcycle Run at both the Magic Kingdom and Shanghai Disneyland. The overlay will debut at both parks in September in time for the release of the film later this fall. For both attractions, the ride will see red and orange light trails replacing the blue and orange hues of the ride, including on the canopy and the light cycles. In addition, the sounds of 9 Inch Nails, who provide the score for TRON Ares, will also be added to the overlay. That's right, folks. 9 Inch Nails is going to play at the Magic Kingdom. There's some people clapping for... 9 Inch Nails is also what's sticking out of the floor in the middle of EPCOT, I think, at this point. I'm not sure. Either way. News tonight's off. I got to make the jokes now. Moving on. During the Disney Villains Icons of Evil panel at D23, it was announced that legendary Disney animator Andreas Deja has joined the Villains Land project team as a consultant. Deja has been an animator on Disney classic films such as The Black Cauldron, Beauty and the Beast, and Hercules. I did say classic and The Black Cauldron in the same sentence there. Do not correct your television. He specifically referenced the time he spent animating iconic Disney villains such as Gaston and Jafar, making some jokes about where he drew occasional inspiration for the characters. And when asked how he felt on returning to the world of villains, Deja shared he was excited to return to familiar turf, and he was ready to expand upon their universe where we'll get to amplify the way we see them. During the panel, we got a behind-the-scenes look at the architectural inspiration for the upcoming Villains Land. Imagineers took a trip to Paris, France, and Barcelona, Spain, where they studied the old buildings and took notes of the Art Nouveau design. We should also expect to see deep jewel tones when it comes to the colors throughout the land. The Disney Villains Land will be an expansion to the Magic Kingdom beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Of course, no date is known at this time. So Disney Imagineers working on this project have come up with a new term. It's called Conjured architecture, where that Art Nouveau, those sort of flowy designs, they turn into rockwork, they turn into vines. The villains all sort of a lot of them kind of float or kind of wave. I don't know. There's a certain design aesthetic to the villain characters in Disney animated movies, which the Art Nouveau sort of captures, and that'll be throughout the land. I know a lot of people were disappointed there wasn't more to learn about Villains Land at D23. I think what we have to keep in mind is they're still real early on this project. So they've taken the research trip. They're starting really earnestly on the design phase at this point. Look, honestly, part of the problem is Disney's announcing things too early. That being said, if all this land was being cleared at Magic Kingdom and we didn't know what it was for, I think people would be angrier. So I think that's a good idea to let people know that a Villains Land is coming. People are obviously very excited. I'm sure all of you. Who's excited for Villains Land? Yeah, I mean, there's your answer there. Personally, look, I'm a geek and a loser, and I love to learn like the story behind, like, what are the inspirations? What is the architecture? How did the architecture come about? So for me, this little tidbit is super interesting. Is it as much as people wanted to hear this weekend? No. But I appreciate that they gave us something. But I think, honestly, it's just not far enough along to talk about more of it. And I think, look, we are a year away from D23. We'll talk about that in a minute. I think we're going to hear a whole lot more about it a year from now. But I think this is going to be it for a little while. I think you've got this little nugget, and I think it's probably going to be a year until we hear more about Villains Land. It is, it's probably 2030-ish, and it is 2025 right now. So some patience is going to need to be packed along the way. This is a long journey to Villains Land. What we don't have to wait long for is at Disneyland Paris, the opening time frame was announced for World of Frozen. The new land set on the edge of Adventure Bay will open in the spring of 2026, and it'll be home to 2 castles, the Arendelle Palace, inspired by traditional Scandinavian architecture, home to Queen Elsa and Queen Anna, and built into a snowy landscape of the North Mountain is Elsa's Ice Palace, which has just received its tallest point on the structure. In the town of Arendelle, you can see a clock tower that features tiny versions of Anna and Elsa. Of course, this is all very similar to the land that opened in Hong Kong Disneyland back in 2023. The land will include Disneyland Paris' own version of Frozen Ever After, the attraction found at EPCOT, and more similar to the version in Hong Kong. But again, if you want an idea of what this land will look like, we have video tours and much more content and an honest review of World of Frozen right here on the channel. But that original Frozen Ever After opened at EPCOT way back in 2016. At Disneyland Paris during the Halloween festival, you'll be able to enter the Unlucky Nugget Saloon, a Halloween-themed overlay of the Lucky Nugget. The graphic, which is designed like a wedding invitation, reads, "Join now the spirits in nuptial doom," which is a line, of course, from Phantom Manor. It includes art of a black Gothic-style wedding cake with an icon of Phantom Manor sitting atop. The overlay will be available from October 1st through November 2nd at Disneyland Paris. There will be special food and beverage. There'll be special decor. Supposedly no entertainment, though, but this is super neat. Phantom Manor, my favorite version of Haunted Mansion in the world. The backstory is really neat. And to have that backstory of, like, we're attending the engagement party, I think, or maybe we're at the reception. I don't know. Either way, we're at some part of Melanie's journey of her wedding that didn't work out. So I think it'll be perfect for Frontierland and perfect for the Halloween season. And we're actually going for the kickoff of Halloween in Paris. I cannot wait to see this, and we'll have a video review and much more for you when it debuts. Also, a replacement was announced for the Tahitian Terrace restaurant at Hong Kong Disneyland. It will be Moana inspired. No other details were really shared other than the restaurant is expected to open on September 12th, which is the actual 20th anniversary of Hong Kong Disneyland. The art shared at the panel and online shows Moana dressed in her outfit from the new film, Moana 2, and meeting guests in front of the restaurant. The location has a purple sign that says Wayfinder's Table, which we believe should be the name, but maybe that was just a placeholder during the creative process. But no further details available at this time other than there will obviously be a new and updated menu. New details regarding the villains guests will encounter when aboard the Disney Destiny have been announced as well. The Grand Hall can morph into a mythical realm of mystery, said Imagineers. The Grand Hall will feature 360-degree lighting effects. The space will react to the presence of certain characters and can take on the signature aura of Disney and Marvel villains. One of the transformations of the Grand Hall will occur with the arrival of Loki, a fan-favorite Marvel character. Guests will never know where Loki may turn up throughout the ship, though. He may recruit unsuspecting guests for a surprise competition to prove their adoration for him, or command guests to explain the strange foreign rituals of ocean cruising. Also, a first look at beverages were revealed for the Cask and Cannon, as well as the Sanctum lounges aboard the Disney Destiny. The Cask and Cannon pirate-themed lounge will feature a skull and crossbones in the O and a sword at the bottom of the logo, as you're seeing now. The preview also included some new interior concept art. Everywhere you look, you'll find treasures from pirates, and Disney says every corner tells a tale. It's been confirmed as well that when the Haunted Mansion Parlor Bar comes to the Disney Destiny, the menu will be reimagined and new mugs will be added. You're looking at those 2 new mugs right now. I'm excited for these. I'm also excited that they're changing the whole drink menu because, honestly, the Haunted Mansion Parlor is spectacular. I love it. The worst part is the drinks. The drinks are all kind of bad. And so I'm really happy to hear the Destiny is going to be changing them all. We, of course, will be on the Destiny in November to tell you if they're better or worse, so stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, jumping back to land, for this holiday season, there will be many new novelty items we can expect, such as this holiday Christmas tree truck popcorn bucket, which will be available at Disneyland and Disney Cruise Line. Additionally, the holiday zombie mug will be introduced later this year to both Trader Sam's locations at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort, and you can see they're both slightly different as well. They also previewed several other mugs and cups and buckets, but there's not enough time today to talk about all of them. And finally, last but not least, D23, the official Disney fan club, has announced the event dates for the next D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan event, taking place in 2026. The next D23 will take place from August 14th through the 16th, 2026, again at the Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim, California, which means I will be working on my birthday again next year. It's going great. It doesn't mean I also get to be at Disneyland. I guess that's not bad. But actually, I'll be on a convention floor for my birthday. Maybe we'll just put a cake on the floor and we'll just all eat birthday cake off the floor at D23. I don't know. Either way, a lot more was announced at D23, certainly a lot of movie news and Disney Plus news as well. That's all available at WDWNT.com. Be sure to check it out. Currently, the hottest dining reservation at Walt Disney World, the Beak and Barrel, inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean, is now open. Has anyone been yet? One person got a reservation. One lucky person back there. Oh, we've had a chance to try every dish and beverage, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and we're ready to give you our honest review. You can watch the video right here on our channel or read it at WDWNT.com. As drainage continues and pieces of track are being removed, metal framing is going vertical in the former Rivers of America at the Magic Kingdom. Recently, the first visible piece of track from the rivers was removed as Disney transforms the area into Piston Peak from Cars. Now that the area is mostly drained, minus some rainwater and puddling, construction equipment is beginning to arrive. Among the machinery, lights, construction cones, and other equipment, a large section of scaffolding has been put up near the Tiana's Bayou Adventure side of the former Rivers of America. Surrounding the base of the metal framework is some puddling, but there is a water pump set up to remove that excess water. The metal framework is 2 levels high in some sections and 4 in others. One metal sheet has been laid across one section, though some additional pieces may be added as work continues. Disney, of course, has big plans for the Rivers of America, as the Rocky Mountains-inspired Cars area will be an expansion of Frontierland named Piston Peak National Park. It'll include a river, water features, and a potential barrel bridge, an homage to Tom Sawyer Island. There will be 2 attractions in the area, including an off-road rally race attraction. Disney remains silent on what the second attraction will be, but maybe, I don't know, maybe we got to wait till next year at D23. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to wwnt.travel and their team will design your next magical vacation, from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resorts to Disney Cruise Line, including the Disney Destiny, to Adventures by Disney and more. And the best part is, their concierge services are 100% free. So book today. That was loud. Soarin' to Tower, we've got some new cast member costumes. The iconic attraction debuted brand new costumes on Monday, September 1st. Soarin' Around the World is located in the Land Pavilion, found in World Nature in EPCOT, or as I call it, Future World, because I'm old. All Soarin' cast members are wearing the new costumes as of today, which we were told are much more comfortable than the previous one. The new costumes include a blue 3/4 sleeve shirt worn underneath a matching navy vest and pants set. The vest has red accents on the collar and front pocket, with the Soarin' wings pinned to their right chest. The previous costume, shown here, was more akin to a classic flight attendant look, with a navy blue suit with red accents on the collar, shoulder pads, and pockets. This is the latest cast member costume update at Walt Disney World. Most recently, Pirates of the Caribbean debuted new costumes, and now Soarin' has them as well. You know, I got on here and I said undoubtedly the new pirate costumes were better than the old ones. I don't like the new Soarin' costumes. The full blazer felt like an airline costume, or should I say uniform, that felt right. And so obviously I understand that's not a comfortable costume, but Soarin' cast members do always work indoors. So like, I don't know how necessary it was to get rid of the blazer, but let me know in the comments how you feel about it. I miss the old one. I think this is a downgrade, but I also understand that the cast members are more comfortable. Good for them. But at the same time, I think a little less show in the costume than before. A tall pile driver now looms over Disney's Hollywood studios as construction continues on the future Monsters, Inc. land. On a recent visit to Disney's Hollywood studios, we noticed that looming pile driver could be seen throughout most of the park. From just outside of the former Muppets courtyard, the driver can be seen just past one of the remaining buildings. The Stage 1 company store has already been completely demolished, and most of the rubble has been cleared away. The pile driver is likely being used to create a foundation for the area set to become Monstropolis. The show building for Muppet Vision 3D is still standing. That's because it will be reused as a theater for some new offering in the Monsters, Inc. land. Of course, while the Muppets have been evicted from this area of the park, they are set to take over Rock and Roller Coaster, currently starring Aerosmith. Disney recently shared new concept art for that update. Of course, Rock and Roller Coaster is expected to close early next year. I'm going to throw in a plug right here. We are having an event for the farewell of Rock and Roller Coaster with all the Imagineers who brought that attraction to life, and maybe even a few additional surprise guests that I can't talk about yet. So stay tuned. Details are coming, but a big Rock and Roller Coaster farewell coming early next year from us. A new souvenir cup has roared into Walt Disney World. It's currently available at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The cup is a light salmon color with a multicolored Disney's Animal Kingdom wordmark placed front and center. Tree of Life is printed in green below the logo. The cup has a shiny green lid, and many of the park's animal residents are printed on the exterior. Animals such as a lizard, zebra, monkey, and tiger are among those in a colorful style, and even more animals like a goat, elephant, and snake are surrounded by foliage and insects as well. So far, the cup is only available at Restaurantosaurus. Restaurantosaurus lists the souvenir cup online in the My Disney Experience app. Other locations like Pizza Safari and Flame Tree Barbecue do not mention the cup on their digital menus. They may get them at some point. We'll have to wait and see. Construction continues at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort for redirecting the resort's main entrance as well as repairing the rooftop of the Terrace building. There is ongoing construction in front of Disney's Polynesian Village Resort to redirect that entrance. It appears crews are creating an entirely new entrance which will help alleviate congestion for resort guests and guests with dining reservations. The official announcement stated the front entrance roadway and bus area would be reconfigured and work will last until 2026. Since our update in July, there has been a lot of progress. The road is beginning to take shape with some curbs installed and materials laid out and ready to go. Dirt is being dug up in appropriate areas to continue the installation of the new roads. The entire area is closed off to guests with black scrim. In addition, there is a new structure being built that looks like it'll be a new guard shack for security personnel. Small structure has steel beams already in place for framework of the shack. The roof looks like it'll match the A-frame beams on top of the other roofs throughout the resort. Earlier this month, construction crews started work on rooftops around the resort. We visited to check out the latest progress and found the same string of yellow flags and construction cones still on the roof of the Terrace building. There are a few machines and crew members on the other side of the building. The second photo you're seeing here shows the other side of the roof that was previously being worked on. The latest work at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa shows the expansion of the Garden View Tea Room construction walls, progress on the upcoming Birdcage bar, and updates to the elevator area. The Garden View Tea Room construction zone is now expanded. In our last update, the walls were located right in front of the entrance to the lounge. As of August 28th, they have been pushed out a bit further into the lobby seating area. The walls completely wrap around the columns supporting the roof overhang as well as the planters that line the side of the lobby. There are rolling carts, trim, rolls of material, and construction tools staged outside of the space. It's unclear what is currently inside the room due to the scrim on the windows, but we did spot some boxes, cabinets, and chairs. The Garden View Tea Room, of course, has not operated since 2020 when COVID-19 shut down the resort. That being said, Disney has announced a number of changes coming to the lobby. They did not say anything about what they're doing to the space. Will it just be seating? Will the tea experience return? We just don't know at this time. Last week, we reported the Birdcage bar got its roof supports and vertical framework, but now drywall surrounds the steel beams near the bottom and concrete has been installed by the floor. The images here show a before and after comparison of the bar. The image on the left was taken during our last update, while the image on the right is the most recent. Most notably, the concrete around the sides and floor was missing from our last update. The new bar will be a place for guests to order drinks in the lobby. It replaces the actual birdcage that used to sit in this space. The concept art for the bar shows brass accents, stained glass, and intricate woodwork, paying homage to the resort's Victorian styling. Crews have seemingly completed the work near the left elevator on the lobby floor and have switched to working on the elevator to the right. Woodwork is missing from the top of the right elevator entrance and the damaged wall is visible. Curtains surround the closed elevator to keep guests out of the area. The lobby's main staircase continues to be inaccessible with construction walls, tarps, and stanchions blocking the whole area. No completion date has really been given for the whole lobby, but this will go on long enough to stop the annual gingerbread house from happening this year at the Grand Floridian. As fall fun descends on Walt Disney World, a limited time cookie celebrating the flavors of the season has returned to Gideon's Bakehouse. It's the pumpkin bread chocolate crumb cookie. It is $6.50. This month's menu features a Rocketeer-esque character named Maximilian Wizenwell. His blurb on the back of the menu reads, "Maximilian Wizzlewell oozes confidence. A popular bloke who excels at everything he tries, Max is the envy of ladies and gents alike. But that same zeal ultimately was his downfall when curiosity led him to step through a Mobius door that hurled him into another dimension. Nicknamed Commander Wiz, he now battles his way through galaxies unknown into an attempt to return to the world that offered him love." This is a place to buy cookies. Do I need all this for a cookie? I don't know. But Gideon's, I'm mad at you. What happened to the orange boy? The orange boy didn't return this year. What was his name? I forgot his name now. Stuart Valencia. Stuart Valencia, the orange boy. Maybe he's lost in another dimension. We don't know. Where is the orange boy? Is he okay? I need to know. Anyway, that's a long way to go about saying, read the review of the new cookie on our website. For the absolute, why does anyone watch this? For the absolute latest on these stories and on Stuart Valencia, be sure to check WWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind the show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. I assume we have some WIGS members today. Thank you. Thank you for the support. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Unless you did something to Stuart Valencia, then I will find you.